Recovery is a process of decisions podcast. This podcast is a weekly revealing of the recovery journey of peer support specialist Trent Thomas. Join him on his internal research-driven dive into what to and what not to do in sustaining recovery. His weekly episodes demonstrate that you are not alone, and what we can't do alone, we can do together. This life is hills and valleys, but we were built for struggle. These weekly episodes are a journey into his life lessons as he fulfills his daily mandate to help someone other than himself. Welcome. The Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. Welcome to the Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. This is Trent Thomas, your recovery peer support specialist. Tonight's episode is entitled, To Heal, I Must Reveal. For the vast majority of my life, I drank and drugged my pain away. I buried the shame and guilt so deep, I lost track of it. Yet, this shame and guilt tugged at my soul. My inner peace was being systematically ripped apart. My soul was being dissolved internally, slowly and deliberately. Disillusion caused by the shame and guilt I was feeling over someone else's decisions I had no control over or participation in, yet I felt responsible for. Buried so deep in my subconscious, I had forgot it, and it lingered on. This internal slow burn chipped at my joy, my happiness, my serenity. It took the grieving over the death I felt for a family member that brought these feelings of shame and guilt to the surface. It was 3 a.m. that I was awakened with tears flowing down my face, feeling intense pain from shame and guilt. That morning, I prayed to the God of my understanding for relief from this pain. I woke the next day with a new mission to reveal this shame to those in my family it had been hidden from. Reveal is what I did. To my fiance, to my children, to my parents, to my nieces, to my sister. In this revelation, my shame subsided. My healing began. The light from God now shined on my dark storage shed of old wounds. Gone was the acid burn caused by internal shame and guilt. This healing revelation was the treatment I required for the disease I suffered from. God did what God does, and removed was the gray skies of shame and replaced with the bright colored cloudless heavens that comes from truth, the kind of truth that only God can give. Truth pushes back the walls of blockage that extends deep into our subconscious mind and prevents the rays of God's light to penetrate our mind's eye. Hope is the message that confronts despair and removes darkness. Hope is the guiding force that propels life into living life on life's terms. Hope based on truth. Truth that originates from the God of my understanding. A God that can and will save me from myself. A God that has proven throughout my life that he exists, that he cares, that with him all things are possible and achievable. A God of purpose and destiny. A God that does not just plan, he purposes it into existence. He operates in the supernatural. He does not need or require elements of the natural world to exist for his purpose to come into being. He does not need the sun to make light. He does not need the wind to lift me up. He operates where all things are possible and nothing is impossible. I am deeply humbled and extremely grateful for another day to just do better. Better today than yesterday. My purpose today is mandated to help someone other than myself. Each day is a brand new opportunity to just do better. Gone is my mistakes of yesterday, and the future is not guaranteed. All I have is right now, today, to just do better. Only by climbing new hills and traversing new valleys can I show and prove I am actually doing better. For me, it is only by admitting to the God of my understanding and another human being the exact nature of my bad decisions that I can heal my inner scars scraped into existence by acid like instances of guilt and shame. These inside wounds are only healed with the revelation of past harms and errors in judgment. This revelation is like bathing in a warm salt bath where the cuts are cleaned and cauterized with the heated light of truth, the kind of truth that comes from God. With God, everything he does is truthful. God cannot lie. The treatment for the lie of addiction is the truth that comes from God. The light of God shines on our way of life so we can see the harm and wrongness of our former path. Truth is healing. God reveals truth, the kind of truth that only God can give. To heal, I must reveal the lies from my past. Guilt is the admission of wrong. Shame is trying to hide it. By revealing our wrongdoing, we heal with the truth of revelation and discovery. With revealing my past, we remove guilt and shame from having a disabling effect on my life. Truth is healing, and I need truth to uncover my past. For my recovery, it is true that I must reveal to heal. This is Trent Thomas on another episode of Recovery is a Process of Decisions podcast. You can now subscribe to this podcast and receive special in-depth episodes for subscribers only, as well as a private personal email account to communicate directly with me for comments and show suggestions. In addition, I will be doing podcast shout outs to all those subscribers who request shout outs. As always, your inspiring comments can be left at transnetrecover.com/podcast. Please feel free to follow me on Facebook and Instagram, hashtag TransnetRecover. Thank you and have a blessed day.